Another short video that covers a complex and whole class. In fact, I teach a whole class on the history of Islam of University, Simpson University. They still teach the class there, so if this is something that interests you, feel free to email them. If you want more information and books and things, I'd be happy to send your way. But this is looking at another heir of Rome, another sort of part of the Roman Empire that reforms itself into another monotheistic religion. We looked at monotheism in the Byzantine Empire with the form of Christianity. You look at Christianity and what central role it starts to play in Western Christendom. But then also another monotheistic religion emerging out of the Arabian Peninsula is very important and very interesting, and a big concept of world history, because here we're a center of trade for all the traders coming in from the Silk Road, the traders coming in from the Mediterranean, all coming to one important place that has a long history and a major identity of the Bedouin peoples, this nomadic people of that area, and how Muhammad is able to reform them by looking at religion, looking at the importance of their own history. And even today, I was actually in Oxford University a couple weeks ago, and I was on the street looking around, and I had a conversation with a bunch of these Muslim evangelists, I guess you'd say, these Muslims who are trying to show another side of Islam. And, you know, teaching at Simpson University, you have to do declaration of faith. So I could tell you, you know, being a Christian and talking to these Muslims peoples on the street of Oxford was very, very interesting. 90% of the conversation was looking at history, was looking at the way they portray and Christianity portrays Abraham, how Christianity and Islam portrays Jesus, how Christianity and Islam portrays you know, other aspects of history, and looking at the history of Muhammad, looking at the first believers, the first followers of Muhammad, to create this religion of submission, being submissive to God. That's what Islam means. That's what being a Muslim means. It means to submit oneself. You know, big thing that people get, you know, misconceive about this whole thing is that they worship Muhammad. Muhammad is seen as a prophet. They definitely don't. Their first rule is to know God but God. And that's the biggest beef they have, if you will, with Christianity. They see Christianity not as a monotheistic religion, but as a polytheistic religion because of the Trinity. So the whole idea of the Trinity for Islam breaks down the idea of a monotheistic God in their view. Interestingly, if you look at early church doctrine in the 2nd, 3rd century, Christians were having the same debate. The Byzantine Empire, they were having a debate of how to deal with the Trinity, how to deal with Jesus Christ as Son of God and as man. That whole debate was happening in the church. That whole debate was happening at the same time also, 7th, 8th century, when you see Islam coming out. And so Islam went in a direction, they believe in Jesus as a prophet, they don't believe of Jesus as a son of God. And so there's a huge split between how creating whole different religious views. That's a whole other class in itself. For us, and the purpose of this class is a very interesting and important phenomenon of looking at the history of Islam, how it comes out of the Arabian Peninsula, what it starts to use with the interactions with world systems of exchange that create the religion. So with the Silk Road, the Mediterranean, the peoples there, the role of the religion from before, looking at Jewish traditions, looking at early Christian traditions, all being the foundation of this religion of Islam. So, and what comes out from there. So there's a lot of interesting things to see. We're going to go through it, just a morsel, just a taste, to see sort of an appetizer, again, of another heir of Rome. But feel free, if you have questions, let me know. An interesting subject. There's some great books on the subject. And here is the second part of our series, Heir of Rome, looking at Islam.